I was going to teach you guys how to use the Trifold, and I wanted to jump in the car and show you guys how I use my Trifold, how I use my license, registration, and proof of insurance put together so smoothly, how my hands are already up at touchdown position before the cop comes up. I've got my license, registration, proof of, I have everything ready to go up here. The very first thing that you want to do, since you're being pulled over by the cops, you want to establish your touchdown position with your arms. Do you see how I'm doing it? You see how I'm doing it? This arm is up and in the window, just like a goalpost. My hand can be seen right here through the window. This is the first step that you're gonna do to establish that you are not armed. The cop's behind me, he's got his lights on. I'm going to establish touchdown position with my arms. I don't want to die because I got pulled over and my hands weren't at a touchdown position. Do you see that? I don't want that cop to kill me. I have established my touchdown position. My hand is in the window. My other arm is holding the phone. The copper can see my phone through the back window, so he can see my phone. The phone lights up. My other hand's in my window. That cop right now can see both of my hands, and so the likelihood of me being shot, sorry about that, it drops significantly. See there? I caught the phone because I don't want to die because I'm reaching down. Don't want to reach down. Elbow goes in the windowsill right there. The cops pulled me over. Cool, 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 cool. Right here, I've got my license, my registration, and my proof of insurance. I got everything right there. See that? My hands never got to go below the steering wheel. I never have to reach anywhere else. Not at all. I don't gotta reach anywhere at any time. This is as far as I gotta go right there. That's it. That's as far as I go right there. See there? My hands are up in the air. The cop cannot mistake my hands in the air. This camera phone is a giant light. My other hand is right here. Got my window slightly cracked 3 or 4 inches. My doors are locked. Now, cop is gonna want my license, registration, and proof of insurance. I've got it right there. Boom, right there is everything, including a copy of my identification laser copied. My hands never left below the steering wheel. Do you see how that works? Do you see how that works? Now, he's gonna say license, registration, proof of insurance. I'm gonna give that to him. There you go. He's got my license, registration, proof of insurance. I've now provided everything I have to provide by law. I gave him my license, my registration, my proof of insurance. I had it ready to go for him because I knew this moment would come, that I would be in the situation with the cop behind me and I would need my license, my registration, and my proof of insurance. If you live in America, you will be getting pulled over. Now, he's gonna say to me, do you know how fast you were driving? Do you know why I pulled you over? I pulled you over for NRS code blah, blah, blah. And I'm gonna reply to him as I slide my Trifold down from my visor. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. I'm gonna show it right to him. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. I'm not gonna answer or play that game of, do you know how fast I was going? Do you know why I pulled you over? I'm not here to play that game with you. That's not the game I started my day off doing, and that's not what I'm gonna do now. The answer is no. I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. If he asks another question, I'll show him the list here. It says right there, don't ask me where I'm coming from, don't ask me where I've been, don't ask me where I'm going. Everything I need to provide by law is in the slip below. I got it on delete laws. That's where I got it. I don't have to answer any questions at all. Well, where are you going? I'm gonna look right at the camera, not the jackboot, and I'm gonna say, I've already invoked my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. It's right here in writing. It's a clearly established Fifth Amendment from 1793. That's my Fifth Amendment right. I've given him everything he's supposed to get. That's it. That's how I respond. My hands have never gone anywhere but here. Do you see that? I'm not gonna get shot. Do you get it? And I got to check that jackboot thug pig who I always have wanted to check, but I didn't really know how to check him just right. By invoking your Fifth Amendment right, he cannot ask you another question. His questioning ability has come to an end. You guys have seen me do it on the DUI stop. When I went through the DUI checkpoint, he said, "You have anything to drink tonight?" And I said, "I invoke my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent." And he said, "Have a nice night." You can't question me anymore after I invoke my clearly established Fifth Amendment right. And then you can check that jackboot thug pig. You don't have to put up with that nonsense. You don't got to put up with that. This is how it works. This is how you do it. If I need to hold my arm up, look at this. Look what I'll do. I'll take my armrest right there and I stick my elbow right on it. Do you see how I do that? You see that? Your arms go to a touchdown position. That's how your arms do it. Your arms go to a touchdown position. You see this arm elbow bend right there? Phone's at the top of it. There's the top of the goalpost. There's the other side of the goalpost. Now I've got a touchdown position. Copper can't say I was reaching. Copper can't say nada. I had my license, registration, proof of insurance ready to go for the jackboot thug pig. I had everything ready to go. License, registration, proof of insurance, everything was together on a laminated card. I already laminated it. I took my time to do it because I don't want this jackboot thug pig to have any kind of power over me. I gave you everything I have to give you required by law. Leave me alone at that point. I'm not going to play the game of why'd you pull me over. I'm not going to play the game of do you know how fast I was going. No, 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 no. We've seen time and time and time again that you end up going in torture cuffs, that you end up going to jail. You have to use the trifold. Then the cop says, "You know what? I want to search your car." And you say, "Okay, sure, you can search my car." And then you get out of the car. And then you turn around and you pull your trifold out and you say, "You know what? I revoke consent. If I can give consent, then I can revoke consent." And I revoke consent. United States versus Williams, 2018, 1991, Florida versus Gemino. Both say that if I can give consent, I can revoke consent. I revoke consent on camera. Now, from the 1914 case of Weeks called the exclusionary rule, he can no longer search. He has to stop searching. Anything he finds after the search, after you revoke consent, is no longer admissible in a court of law. If you have it on camera, doesn't matter what you have in your car after that point. You gave consent, he took your consent, used your consent, you revoked that consent, and then he searched your car anyway. It's now the exclusionary rule. No longer can he use it. Fruit of the Poisonous Tree from 1961, Mapp versus Ohio. He shouldn't have asked for consent because you reinstated your Fourth Amendment right. Because if you can give consent, you can revoke consent. You have to have the trifold on you. You have to have it done properly. This is your position. Copper can't say he's scared. Look at that. You can see both of my limbs. You can see everything. My hand's up here. I have everything rubber banded in to my visor. I've got everything right there. That's how we roll every day when we roll. I never, ever, ever don't have documents and everything ready to go. Why don't you have your insurance, your proof of insurance, and your registration? Why don't you have both of those on a laminated card up in your visor? How come you don't have your registration and your proof of insurance on a laminated card up in your visor? Why don't you have it done? You're gonna get pulled over, Jack. You're gonna get pulled over. And then you're gonna say, "Man, I saw that guy's video. He showed me exactly how to do it. And boy, did I F this up. I had to turn my camera off to get my insurance out. And that's when he popped Johnny in the mouth." Who did? The cop? Yeah. He just hit him in the mouth? Yeah. No, he didn't. Yeah, he did. You got a video of that? Oh man, it was right when I had to turn my phone off to get my insurance. Why don't you have your insurance and registration? Why don't you have it put together? Why don't you have a trifold in your car? It's absolutely ridiculous that you don't have one of these in your car. You get it on DeleteLaws.com.